Hey, how you doing? We're going to be covering a lot of topics because I'm getting into ATC today. Yes, air traffic control. The evilness of anybody that flies. You can see I've loaded up this Manx with, 14 point, let's see, 144,000 kilos is what it's going to be flying. I've got the top loading cargo pods full of fuel ore. I've got full everything, so this is going to be a overweight flight, just the way I normally fly, just because, well, you get more moved. So let's go to the Airspace tab in RISE. Okay, you can get there by going to the links that I'm putting down below, and yes, I'm going to try and make sure I keep everything organized. I mute this immediately because otherwise you'll hear air traffic control through the web page and the game. You'll notice there are the arrivals, there are the ILS plates, there's the airport diagram, and there are the departures. We're going to be flying fleet and talking about the ILS and the city. Let's take a better look at the fleet approach. Actually, first let's show you where I'm coming from. I am currently right here at that purple dot there. That is where Kansas is. And we want to go to that dot there. No, I'm not going to make you watch everything because I already have a different video which I will link about how to do a suborbital flight. Don't need to waste your time if you already watched that one. But I'm not going to fly directly to the city because then ATC would be sending me all around the place. The easiest, now this is my opinion, the easiest approach into the city to keep ATC happy is the fleet approach. I'll be coming in at breakneck speeds, and about here is where I will turn the video recorder back on, and I'll be probably somewhere 8-10 kilometers up in the air. If I've got myself down low enough, I might actually be as low as 2, but I'm going to try and keep myself up a little bit because of course you're faster. Now if you notice, you can use fleet to come in and then fly straight north to Rains. Rains is where they're going to send you. That is where they start talking to you, that magic line. Rains is on the inside, Fleet's on the outside. So if you fly towards Fleet, and just as you're getting to Fleet, you start your corner, you'll come up somewhere around the 16-degree line and be flying towards Rains. Halfway there, you check in with air traffic control. They'll tell you to drop down to 1,700 meters and fly the heading to Rains. Yes, I'm going to be using nav because I am lazy. Once you get to Rains, they will tell you to drop down to 1,600 meters and fly towards Sunny. Okay, that's great. So there's the airport, because yes, I'm going to be flying to a district pad, not running to the airport because I don't want to go to the airport. I want to actually get more money by dropping off my cargo at the industrial district directly. The next point that they give me will be towards D-pads, the district pads, and that's right just in this corner of the map basically. Right before I get there, they will tell me that I can resume my own navigation. I will fly up and I'll pretty much put myself to idle normally as I'm descending that last little 1,000 meters. Well, technically I'm dropping 700 meters because I'll hit that point at 1,000. And just barely clearing the hangar at the end of the district pad, assuming I can see that there's nobody in that's parked in here. If there's somebody parked here, well, then you have to either land short or land off to the left. Yes, I'm flying a Manx and it's going to be overweight, so there is no way I can vertically land. It just isn't happening in the Manx with more than any cargo, basically. You put cargo in, you're giving up your vertical flight abilities. So, once I clear there, I will be going to full reverse thrust just as I'm about to land, and I will come to a stop somewhere right around here, and life will be good. So, I'm going to pause the video and actually start flying, and then I will give you a holler once I get to fleet. You'll notice it's 2,502 kilometers. I'll probably turn it back on when it's somewhere like 20. Catch you in a second. Yeah, so I've only gone 90 kilometers and I realized I was going to explain why I choose to fly the fleet approach versus the other approaches. Okay. Let's quick get back to the fleet approach chart. You'll notice that the fleet approach chart, you're pretty much flying a straight line north to the city. If you don't cross over the center line of the runway and get close to fleet, what happens is they will send you to Party, or Lake, which is out in the ocean there, and then bring you up to about here and then send you across and up, and it's just a lot more turns that you can get them mad at you. So I prefer to actually come in here going fast towards fleet, and then as I start up there is when I'm slowing down the last little bit. Now let's have a couple seconds about departures. There is the VLM page, and if you type in the APN that I've put in the bottom of this here, you will get this little map, I guess you'd call it, of the city. There's the land, there's the water. That plot there I know is the airport for the city, the transit district, the finance district, the industrial district, and Center City, and that's the empty plot that the city owns. That's the mine I own, that's City Mine 2, that's a farm I own. Right through the farm, there is a line. Everything to the west of the line, when you're departing to the east, goes to Runner, which is straight up about there. And then out where there's Firefox. Cargo for departure. If you are to the west of that line, which runs through the farm there, you have to go to Runner, then Cargo to go east. If you are to the east of that line, they send you directly to orbit. Not a big deal if you're going to Runner or Cargo orbit, but I just find it easier to, if I have the time, to taxi all the way to the farm here, talk to their traffic control, and then fly straight out to orbit, and then straight out towards Alphaville. And hey, I got sunrise. There's the sun. Well, I'm not... technically not sunrise. I'm flying into the sunset, so... let's put the sunglasses on. Okay, there's the sun. Now get back to pause, Bill. As I am approaching the halfway point, I thought it was important to point out I can't stress enough the importance of the halfway tone. When you are at the halfway point, you need to start thinking about your deceleration again. Because, well, frankly, bad things happen if you don't. So, that's just a side note, not about air traffic control. Yes, I had the last as the town where I took off from, and then obviously the waypoint is Fleet still. Okay, back to doing nothing until I get close to Fleet. Okay, as you can see, I am getting pretty darn close to Fleet. I'm 18 kilometers from it. Rains is almost due north of me. So let's quick get into heading mode so I can find out how far Rains is to the north. 351, that's close enough to north for me. By the time I cut my corner, it'll be almost due north. Okay, let's change into MSL mode, because that's what ATC will want. 10, that's a nice happy number. Yes, I'm pushing the MSL down, figure that's a nice happy number for now. As I get closer, they will, when I talk to them, they will tell me to set to 1.7, and I will. But I don't need sunglasses in the clouds. Approach control.
Afternoon arrival. USV Clipper Lancaster.
USV Clipper Lancaster. DOS approach, good afternoon.
USV Clipper Lancaster is a W6. Forward 9er south-southwest. Inbound for a district pad.
Clipper Lancaster. Relay contact. Forward 8 kilometers south. Present heading. Vector to Rains. Descend and maintained 1700.
Heading 010. 1700. Clipper Lancaster.
Rains 1700. Mind you, that's plus or minus 200 meters, so I really don't have too much to worry about. As I get close to range, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it back to heading, because it'll keep seeking more and more corrections as it gets closer. In fact, I probably should go to heading now. Set it to sunny, and you'll notice that the waypoint goes to last.
The OS8S mic is now available. Wind 164, we're at 5.
There's sunny.
Visibility 10. 1500 overcast. Temperature 31. Dew point 22. Altimeter 7766. Brake. Clipper Lancaster. Descend and maintained 1600.
1600. Clipper
And back to
Lancaster.
nav mode. I happened to hit her just at the ATIS hour. Of course, the next one is going to be D-pads, which we've already taken a look as to where D-pads was. And D-pads literally is just right down near there. Come on, D-pads. Nice lightning. Don't need that for right now. And I'm getting close to max speed here, so let's lower the throttle just a little bit. Don't want to take a max much above 90. At 90 meters a second it gets real. Well, you fly faster than the elevator can press down, so 95 is where it really gets ugly. Okay, let's go to heading because I'm within 5. Zoom in one more layer. And
Clipper Lancaster. Descend and maintained 1000.
1000.
as I was saying,
Clipper
she's about to
Lancaster.
tell me 1000. And back to nav mode because we literally are not going to change more than the 30 degrees off course that should yell at. And I can just see the city right there. Well, I see some lights. Slow it down just a little. If I was not trying to keep this as short as possible, I'd probably doing it closer to 70, 65 meters a second. It is always cool seeing the city come out of the clouds like that. Now those two red lights, we're going to try and land between them, or just over them. Not over the lights, but beyond the lights. That'd be a better way to put it. When I get down to about 3, Vino, air traffic controller, will be telling me I can resume my own navigation.
Clipper Lancaster. Resume on navigation. Landing at your discretion. DOS terminal wind 207 at 25.
Now, I'm going to shut the autopilot off and put the engines actually into reverse because I know I'm going to need it.
Gear down.
I acknowledge the landing.
Landing at our
Sync
discretion.
rate.
Clipper
Sync
Lancaster.
rate. Sync rate. Pull up. Pull up.
Roll some flaps in.
500. Sync rate. Pull up.
Clipper
Pull up.
Lancaster. Change to advisory
Pull up.
frequency approved.
Pull up. Retard 100. Retard. Retard 20. 10. Config flats. Config trim.
And we're on the ground. I'm gonna sell my cargo, and then take off towards Alphaville. So I don't think you need to see. Well, I might as well show you how I sell the cargo. Trade cargo. I like communications up. Okay, I'm going to open the cargo bay doors. Fuel ore. Minus all. Fuel ore. Minus 7 tons. Let's raise those flaps. Now, as we talked about earlier, I am way west of that imaginary line, so I can either fly to runner or I can hop up into this area here and taxi all the way across the ground to the farm there. I think I'll take off here and do it the proper way versus breaking the law just because I'm... Well, technically taxiing is not a breaking the law, but still. So let's go to Alphaville Town Hall. Turn on the landing lights.
Landing lights activated.
Oops, I forgot a step.
Landing lights deactivated.
Trade cargo. Bank. And I want to deposit. How much did I earn? 3483. I said 3, it was 4. Oops. Okay. Looks like Jason is in Hangouts. Nope, he's eating his food. Okay, so I got a couple more minutes. Let's turn the
Landing
lights
lights
back
activated.
on. Turn off the parking brake. Close the cargo doors. Screen that I normally fly with. And departure.
Departure's good afternoon. USV Clipper Lancaster.
Come on.
USV Clipper Lancaster. TOS departure.
USV Clipper Lancaster is at W6. 6 clicks northwest. Departing to the east.
Clipper Lancaster. You are cleared for takeoff. Initial heading 030. Vectors to runner. Cross run rotor above 1000 forward 100.
Cleared for takeoff. Heading 030. Runner at or above 1000 forward 100.
Gear up.
Clipper Lancaster.
Gear up.
030. I don't want to hit anything, so let's use a little side thrust to get around that.
Don't sink.
Clipper
Don't sink.
Lancaster. Relay contact. 5
Heading.
kilometers west northwest.
That's a good little wind that's pushing me the wrong way. If we scroll down, we can go to see where runner is, but I really don't care where runner is because I'm just going to follow her directions. Reigns, runner. Just under
Clipper
7
Lancaster.
clicks.
Heading 020.
Acknowledge.
Heading 020. Clipper Lancaster.
Yeah, I can see why she gave me 020.
Clipper Lancaster. Cross cargo rotor above 3000 forward 100.
Cargo at or above 3000 forward 100.
Now, in a couple
Clipper
seconds, she's
Lancaster.
going to give me a 50-degree heading to get towards cargo, but that's more than 30 degrees, so I'm going to wait for her to tell me. Technically, you're
Clipper
supposed to wait for her
Lancaster.
to tell you all the time.
Turn right 20 degrees.
Heading 050. Clipper Lancaster.
Come on, let's start that turn. And I will be under radar control until I get to 18 and a half, somewhere around there is when they finally realize, hey, you ain't in our radar zone anymore.
Clipper Lancaster. Heading 040.
Heading 040. Clipper Lancaster.
And no, since this is only
Landing
a
lights
200-kilometer
deactivated.
flight, I'm not going to bother going much above the 20 to get out of her, well, 18, I'm going to go up to 20 to get out of her controlled airspace as quickly as possible.
clear for Lancaster. You are leaving my airspace. Frequency change
Passing
approved.
sound barrier.
Bye.
Passing sound barrier.
Okay, that covers that. How to deal with ATC. I'm gonna do another one of these shooting an ILS, but yeah, that's it.